Hey y'all, it's Desi, and today we making dirty rice. I got all my stuff set up here. I got my gizzards, my chicken livers. We got the Trinity we're gonna put in there. Now this Jimmy Dean sausage, that's something different that I don't usually do. You can use regular ground pork sausage or whatever sausage you like. I'm just gonna try it and see how it turned out. And I added some ground beef. We got our green onions and all our seasonings here. Now, I just want to show y'all, I wanted to show y'all this. This is animal parts. So if you don't know what you're doing with this, you need to make sure you're not in the kitchen. Now, I'm doing a half a cup of each of the liver and the gizzards. You can do more if you like. That's up to you. But then I boiled them. I'm boiling them for about 15 minutes just to tenderize them a little bit after I clean them up and trim them. And then we're going to put them in a food processor and just kind of grind them a little bit. So here we got our green onions. We have our Trinity that we chopped up. And I have 2 cloves of minced garlic that I chopped up. This is our meat after we boiled, and you can chop it coarse or a little more or however you want to do it. But I did kind of a coarse ground so it would go with everything. I added a stick of butter in here, and then we're just going to brown a little bit, kind of sweat out our onions and our Trinity. Add your beef, add your livers, add your pork in here, and then we're going to get all this mixed up together. Now, I did 2 teaspoons of celery seed. I did two teaspoons of Creole seasoning. We're going to do a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to add some black pepper. Now, that's just going to be your base. You don't want to add all your seasonings right now because once we add the chicken broth, the flavor is going to lighten up a little bit, and then you can usually add more at the end. I'm adding a little cayenne pepper here and a little bit of onion powder. Okay, now with this type of food, it's simple food, but there are no measurements when you're cooking this type of food. You just cook it. So I gave you a few measurements just so you guys can kind of follow along. But with this type of food, you just got to let your taste buds know what it's doing. You know what I mean? So we added our green onions and our garlic in here towards the end so they wouldn't burn. And I'm adding 3 cups of chicken broth. So I did 4 cups of rice. I did it in the rice cooker. And this is just long grain white rice. And I'm adding it to the pot, but you want to add a little bit at a time and mix it up because you don't want to use all your liquid by putting all the rice in at once because you want it not to be dry. This is not a dry rice dish. You want it to have a little bit of movement, a little bit of juice, a little something to it. So I'm slowly adding just a little bit at a time, and then you'll notice that the liquid is going to start to, blend in and dissipate a little bit. This is what we're going for. We want this texture so it's movable, it's not stiff, everything in here. And this is the finished product. We're done. Now you want to taste it and make sure that it's seasoned how you want it. Now for me, I go through with a whole nother round of the seasonings I put in. Now, the only one you got to watch is the celery seed because it has kind of a strong flavor. So you want to add the other things before you add any more of that. And if you do, just add a little bit at a time just to make sure you don't overdo it. You can add a little more garlic, a little more Creole seasoning, whatever you need to do to make it taste like you want it. But that's it. That's how it goes. We're done.